Your website is your home online. Your website is what patients are looking at before choosing to come to you. Does your website translate your practice culture? I want you to Google your website right now. Go online and Google it. Everything about your practice that you love, is it available online? If I go to your practice website, will I immediately get to know you? Will I know that this is the right practice for me? Or is it going to be, again, another template, boring website with stock photos? Don't use stock photos. You have amazing people in your practice. You are a great doctor. You have beautiful patients. Why are those photos not on your website? Why is your practice not on your website? If I go to your website and I'm a new patient, will I know exactly what building to look for? Do I know what kind of practice it is? Do I know what kind of sign you have? Make it easy for me. Make it so easy for me that when I get that reminder to write your review, I can write about how efficient you made it for me to get to your practice, how easy it was, and how your practice reflected your culture online. And that is super, super important. Now, here are some key ways you're going to do this, especially on your website. On your website, you're going to create an office tour, okay? Because an office tour is very easy to do. Now, Google has many different partners, Google partners. There are Google photographers, and they come into your practice, and they take pictures of your entire office, and they create what is called a Google tour. A Google tour is something that you can actually walk through. So when you have the Google tour on your website, you can actually use 360 to look at the entire room, and there are arrows to go from room to room. The cool part about it is that that same code, when you use it on a phone, you can use your finger. So I can use my finger and I can go through it all and I can see your entire practice. And the most important factor about this Google tour is that it goes on Google. You know how you have your Google business page, which is where your reviews are, which is pretty much your identity on Google? This is where the tour goes. So why have somebody leave your Google page? If you can see the entire practice there, wouldn't that be awesome? This is something you can easily do. For Meet the Doctor's page, what I want you to focus on is not only a professional photo of the doctor with their bio. What I want you to do is have photos of the doctor that shows their personality. Maybe photos with their family, photos with the patient, maybe photos at a conference. Something that tells people that this doctor is relatable. That's what people want to know. Can I connect with this doctor? You want to make sure that you show that. With your team members, have a page to meet the team and actually highlight the team members your patients are going to see. This includes the person who's on your welcome desk, the person who's including your new patients in their service. So what I mean is, when your new patient walks in, whose smiling face are they going to see? Include that on your website so they know what to expect. Include every team member that's going to encounter a patient relationship. And why is that important? It's important because your team is the face of your brand. You are busy as a doctor, as a dentist, providing care to your patients. So who are the people who are actually interacting with your patients? It's your team members. Is your team qualified enough to know about your brand? Do you communicate with them to teach them about your brand? Do you tell them how they should be providing the customer service? Make sure that your team is on board and showcase your team on your website. Another important factor about your website is that please make it very responsive. And what I mean by responsive is that your website should be able to be on a mobile phone or a tablet without cutting off all the pages. You want a website that is going to work on all devices. And this is important because most people, over 60% of people, use their phones to look at different things. I mean, when was the last time you looked at your computer to search for something? You have your phone on you all the time. So if somebody decides to look for a dentist, make sure that your website is actually compatible on their device. And it's very easy to do now. Most website companies will provide you a responsive website. And your contact page especially needs to be easily accessible to everybody, to your existing patients and your new patients. If you're able to add a new patient page on your website, absolutely amazing. Imagine you as a new patient going on a website and you know exactly what's going to happen. You have a tour of the practice on the website so you know what to expect when you go there. And on top of that, you have all the forms ready and available to you to bring from home. So you don't have to go to the practice and fill everything out. Make it super, super easy for a new patient to choose to come to you and for them to have everything ready before they come to your practice. Now, having a website is obviously, like I mentioned, a home for your online image. But just having a website is not important. You need to have something called search engine optimization, which is also known as SEO. SEO is how you show up on search engines. So when I type in dentist and a location, how are you showing up? When I type in family dentist, cosmetic dentist, whitening, Invisalign, sleep dentistry, how are you showing up on those searches? Because having a website is one thing, but being able to show on search engines is a whole another thing. So a couple of questions you want to ask your website company are you SEO compliant? Do you provide me SEO, search engine optimization services? Do you provide me a blog so you have constant content available on your website? Would you allow me to go ahead and add information to my website? So for example, it's important that you have a news and announcement section on your website. You have a closure because of the snow? Make sure it's on your website. You want to put information about a new patient promotion you're having? Put it on the website. And ask your website company if you will actually get the SEO reports on a monthly basis. You want to check those reports. You want to know if your SEO is actually working for you, if it's actually converting for you. And these companies should be able to provide you those reports. You also want to go ahead and add in what is called Google Analytics to your website. Google Analytics is free by Google and it gives you a code. You add that code to your website and you know what it does? It tracks all the activity on your website for free. That's right, it's absolutely free. So you want to add that code, add it to the website, and then go check it out. You will know how many website visits you got. You will know how many people left off your website. It's called a bounce rate. You will actually know what pages the patients are visiting. So you know that if you have a new patient promotion, it needs to be on a page that is visited the most on the website, right? What's the point of having a services page that nobody's visiting and you have a promotion on there? Nobody's going to see it. Utilize data like that for free information. It's absolutely positively important for you to not just rely on the website company for all of these details. You have to take the lead and make sure that you are getting the service that the website company is saying you're going to get. Does that make sense? So one thing, figure out your wow factor, make sure it's showcased on your website, make sure that you're tracking the activity on your website and your website is responsive, so it is working on all the different devices. Your website has everything a new patient would be looking for, and that your website is SEO, search engine optimized, so that search engines can actually grab your website and show it as a way for you to be the new dental home for your patients.